I'm an old Rite Orthodox Christian trying to survive in Anchor Point and Homer, Alaska. This has definitely been one of the harder years of my life. And one of the things that I confessed for is not having enough faith, letting all the things that I've been fighting with and worried about cause me grief, stress, worry, anxiety. And it's something that I shouldn't let happen. I need to learn to do better at turning all the things that I worry about into God's hands and praying to Him to help me in it and to trust and to have faith and to try to not be prideful, because pride is like a venom that seeps into us. And pride is something that sometimes camouflages itself as an absence of pride. It's a very dangerous thing. And it's very easy to overlook the pride that we have in ourselves. And it's very destructive. Sometimes we think we're doing good, but we're just being prideful. It's such a slippery slope. So I'm trying to better myself the best I can. And I was talking with a coworker today about dead-end jobs and dead-end lives, and coming to a point sometimes where we can't see that there's any way to grow, any way to do something that has meaning and purpose. And it makes us feel kind of dead inside. It's like a stunted tree or a dead branch. And that's when we need to start looking around and seeing what there is that we can do better at. Start watching for better opportunities. I remember when I first started my career, there was all kinds of hope and excitement and joy, because I knew that people were going to help me move up, because they told me and they showed me that they wanted to help me learn new things that I hadn't learned before, to do things that I hadn't done before, and that they were going to be there to help me do this and to learn this, and told me things that I could do that I hadn't thought of before. And it gave me like purpose and direction and an interest to do in my career. And I embraced that thing, and I took on so many different things and tried to learn new skills. And it wasn't because of the vanity of it at that time. It was because I wanted to learn how to do new things, how to be better at being mechanical. I wanted to learn how to dive. I wanted to continue to grow in my knowledge of welding and construction and building and electrical and plumbing, machine building, machinist work, the scuba diving, ship work. It's really something that I embraced and wanted to do good at and excel in. And then the further on that I went, I started to run into people that didn't want to help me, but were angry that I had knowledge in some things. And they wanted to hold me down. And then they just look for things to tear me down with. And at first, I just didn't acknowledge them. I didn't let them have power over me. But as other people put them in positions of authority over me, and then the people would continue to see problems were being caused, bad things were being done, or things that were being done dangerous, life-threateningly, incorrectly, illegally. They protected the people that would do these things, that would put people's lives in jeopardy because of friendships, behind the scenes friendships. And that was totally wrong. And at first it started to make me angry. But it didn't matter if it made me angry, because the people that were in authority wouldn't do anything correctly. They wouldn't tell people, you can't do that to people. You can't do these things if they're not right. Now this guy's in a mad hurry and I don't want him to chip my windshield, so I'll just let him be crazy. And this continued to go on, where no matter how dangerous, how illegal, how bad the things were that people were doing, the upper management would protect them and continue to try to tear me down with anything that they could find. And I didn't have an advocate anymore, because my first boss died of an aneurysm, and then the next in line took over for a while, and then we changed who was our director. So I had no advocates anymore. There was no one from the original group that I started working for that cared about me anymore. There was only people that saw me in a negative way, because I was either standing in the way of their buddies who they wanted in charge, or I had too many skills. So they began to dig into my personal life and personal things that they could use to attack me. And then over years of this, because I really wanted to keep my place, to keep my farm. And even through all this, I somehow managed to hold on to humility and just do the best that I could with the negative situation that I was forced to be in. People say, well, you can just go do something else. Well, it's not that easy when you have a mortgage and you live in a small town. And it's especially not easy when the people that are trying to hold you down try to defame you to anyone that you go to try to do something different. But I kept on keeping my humility to the best of my ability, and to doing good work to the best of my ability, and to continue to add more skills and more skills and more skills. And that's what I've continued to do. And I'm praying that God takes me out of this situation, if that's His will. And if it's His will that He changes the situation that I'm in and changes the people, I'm also hoping for that as well. But I need to remember to put all my faith in God in these prayers and these hopes, and to not ask for my will to be done. Because over these years, I've learned to realize no matter what I think that I want, I could never make a plan that's better, that's even as close to as good as what God's plan would be if I just learned to have more humility, to humble myself and say, Lord, your will be done in my life, not thine, not mine, but thine. Let your will be done in my life, Lord, because your plan for me is so much better than anything that I could think of on my own. God wants to give us good gifts. And sometimes that's where we have to leave it, to pray and say, Lord, I know when the time's right, you'll lead me in the way wherein I should walk. So I hope you like that little drive home talk after confession. I'm almost home here. So I'll get in the house, get myself settled, and then I'll do some more reading for us. Ooh. So God bless you all, and I'll see you again in a bit. I'm trying to read the comments here, but so I got glare coming at me. So almost to the house here. I know it's just darkness now. My road's very dark. So I'll see you guys again in a little bit. God bless you. Thanks for joining me. We'll do some